This week on LG Overdrive, we're going to talk about AHL media in Week 4. We're going to have Keepers of the Crease with UT. We're going to have our Dudley Top 10 list from the Point with Buck. We're going to talk about our top 4 teams per division. And we're going to talk about our top contenders. So we're going to kick it off right away. We're going to talk about AHL media in Week 4. So UT, we were obviously around Week 3. And Week 4 was a little bit hectic. We had the Canada Day on the Sunday. We had Independence Day on the Wednesday, so we were missing days, and we had really funky schedules. So with that, obviously, a lot of teams had 8-game weeks, 10-game weeks, depending how they decided to reschedule games.
Right.
Obviously, we didn't have media. I went to the AHL forums. There was no drink talk. There was no overdrive. There was no expose. No, we're gonna have time. Nothing. And
it's funny. People finally got lives.
It's like everyone listened to Dudley and finally went outside.
Yeah, but I don't think Dudley did it. I think he worked through the whole thing.
Yeah, Dudley's been extremely busy. I'm kind of sad he's not here right now. He'll join us obviously via pre-recording and with his top 10 list. Oh, it's interesting to listen to him with the top 10 list anyways. You
never know what it's going to be.
Exactly, because it's especially when he's pre-recording, because he'll come in and chirp you randomly and just.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
No. You don't have any time to prepare, and he just says, "Fuck you guys." But yeah, first media that came out this week was Darcy's. Sorry, his carry ratings and carry ranks.
That was impressive.
It was impressive. It was an interesting read. Kudos to Darcy. I know he's got a lifetime forum ban. It was nice of Brody to lift that temporarily so that he could post that, and then he instantly So because he can't even respond to the questions about how he does stuff and how he got these ratings, but very in depth. I like the thought process behind it. Yeah. I personally also would have liked a little bit of more in depth analysis on how you came across with these scores and all that.
It's the mystery of the man himself.
It's the thought process behind the drunk.
A drunk mind is a genius mind.
Yes, it definitely is. But otherwise, it's Week 5 now, end of Week 5. I'm glad that we're back. Obviously, Bryson is currently probably filming a show right live.
I think it just ended. I think
it just ended. There you go. And then, obviously, we're on now, and I'm sure Ring Talk is going. Exposed is probably going to be up sometime this week.
Probably before us.
Probably before, but you never know with Dudley. He's been super busy, like I said. But we're all back probably this week, and it'll be nice to have that back.
My little section that I do on here will come out with a little more in depth of each goal. It will come out on probably sometime this weekend.
Yeah. So speaking of your segment, I'm gonna actually send it over to you. I'm gonna let you do Keepers of the Crease this week.
All right. Well, this is everybody's favorite segment, as much as Dudley and Buck don't want to say. Keepers of the Crease. Everybody who's a goalie, at least it's their favorite segment. So it should be yours too. You're not in my list this week, good or bad. So, all right, we're going to go to our top keepers this week. These are our top guardians. First, we're going to go from Springfield. It's Keat Sauce. He went 4-0, had a .877 save percentage with 1.73 goals against. So that was a decent week for him playing on a subpar team. I'm going to have 4 this week, actually, because there was a couple that were close. So I'm going to go next to Waxy Bone from Syracuse, 5-1 with a .869 save percentage and 2.01 goals against. Both of these guys didn't have a shutout, but still, produced for their team. This week, he was on my It's Not Too Late to Retire week last week. It's Angry Fawn, 5.
A bazillion numbers.
Yeah, worse. It has more than mine. So
yeah.
He went 4-1 with a .868 save percentage, 1 goal against average, and 1 shutout. So kudos on him. And our 4th and final, we just mentioned him. It's Darcy Kemper from Providence, going 6-1 on a 7-game week, posting a .854 save percentage and a 1.56 goals against average with 1 shutout. I will mention that everybody's favorite lifetime CHLer, Corey Crow L50L, went 2-0 with a perfect 100 save percentage, 0 goals on 24 shots with 2 shutouts. Corey, all that means that you probably don't watch this show, and I'm sure it'll get back to you, but all that means is that you've got to stop hiding in the CHL, buddy. It's time to put your big boy panties on and move on up, bud.
He's got to stop hiding as a forward, taking management in the CHL and
Yeah.
playing goalie in other leagues.
I know. He obviously is doing decent. You might as well just show your talent with better. He just likes all the poop shots.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right, now we're going to go to our everybody's favorite. It's never too late to retire. First all, he still went 2-1. I'll give him that. Frisky Beaver from Milwaukee had .645 save percentage with 3.67 goals against average. So not horrible, just that save percentage. I don't know if it was the team in front of him. Who knows? From my own farm team, LL Letty LL. 1-3 with a .660 save percentage and 3.80 goals against average. This next guy, good friend of mine, from Toronto's The Greach. Really good guy. He went 2-2 this week with .667 save percentage, 2.54 goals against average, and still managed a shutout. So, yeah. And you know what? I'll put this guy on my list. This guy, I don't know if you know who he is, but his name used to be Doc Vanilla.
Oh, yes, I know Doc Vanilla.
And he will let you know in the chat box every time he beats you if you're an NHL or AHLer. Well, he came up to the big boy leagues and went 0-2 this week. His name is Peter Octactyl, PTXR Octactyl. He went 0-2 with a .710 save percentage, and he had the highest goals against average with 4.51 goals against average. And he plays for Chicago. So, Doc Vanilla, PTXR, Ramalama Ding Dong Dactyl. Got to get better, buddy, and get out of the CHL.
I'm honestly surprised I'm not there, but then again, my save percentage is a little higher just for the sole fact that I made 28 saves in one fucking game this week.
You were 1-4 with a respectable 7.785 save percentage and
1-2-2. I got 4 points.
Okay, well, yeah, 1-2-2, but it shows for me on my list that you were 1-4. Loss is a loss, but you still got points. Yeah. But yeah, 3.72 goals against, so not horrible. But besides that, Buck, back to you that's from Keepers of the Crease.
So yeah, now Keepers of the Crease, always a great segment. We love that, especially as goalies. It's nice to hear our names every now and then, whether it's good or bad. But now we're going to send to everyone's favorite Dudley. He's got his insane intro for his top 10.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dudley Do-Right. I'm sorry I can't make it today because apparently, unlike Buck and UT, I actually go outside now. I know nobody cares. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is tonight's top 10 list. Now, granted, no one's probably going to care, but figured why not do it anyways? You know what I mean? I put enough time editing the show. I might as well do something. If not, then, this is kind of useless. Oh, LG, how you slaying me. We're probably going to get canceled after this. So, anyways, here is the top 10 list tonight. Roll the videotape. Okay, so this is our top 10 list for today is top 10 things LG Overdrive won't do to get us in trouble. Now, the reason why I mentioned this is because last week I did a video regarding I did a parody for Notorious's other show called Exposed, and I made a mention of his heart attack, and it wasn't meant to be inflammatory or I wasn't meant to be mean or anything like that. People thought it crossed the line. Notorious was fine with it. Hopefully, me mentioning this will probably end up getting me in trouble too. But we kind of got some flack for it, and we're not here to get on anyone's case. So I found top 10 things that Overdrive won't do to get us in trouble. So here we go. Top 10 things LG Overdrive won't do to get us in trouble. So here we go. Number 10, breathe. Number 9, mention any other media that is not Overdrive in a joking matter unless we are told to do so in a written letter proofread by Brody. Number 8, make any mention of Joey Fatone. Wickedly Moist, I'm sorry. Number 7, make fun of Buck's non-beard. Number 6, leave Notorious alone as ordered by technological... I'm sorry, that was a slip-up. Let me fix that. Hold on. Leave Notorious alone as ordered by Brody. I'm sorry. Two are kind of the same. I'm sorry. I'm kind of confused here. BHL days. Number 5, make note of the potential ad space on Tino's forehead. Number 4, did I mention Notorious? Oh, great. We're going to get sued. And we're going to get fired. Number 3, nobody watches, so who cares? Number 2, did I mention Breathe? And the number 1 thing that Overdrive will do to not get us in trouble. We have the right to remain silent. Anything we say or do will be held against us in a court of law. If we do not have an attorney, one will be provided for us. Do you know your rights? And that is our top 10 list for today. If anyone watches, please feel free to yell at me. Now back to Buck and Mr. Guy from Texas.
All right, thanks, Dudley. Another great top 10 as usual. So this week, for From the Point with Buck, always showcasing top defenseman, bottom defenseman, always trying to give you a shout out whether you did good or bad. I'm going to just switch it up a little bit. Instead of just doing week 5, we did miss week 4. I do want to give credit to week 4. So I'm doing a combined week, so the tops of the 2 weeks combined will get mentioned. So obviously, we're going to go over to our top point getter this week. Our top point getter was Hero of Time from Stockton. He had 13 points with a 4-1-1 record. I also had 5 top goal scorers this week. With 3 goals, we had Hero of Time, Mike Hoagie, Craig B, Burnsy, and Letty all had 3 goals this week. So good job for you guys. That's
Hoagie's a solid defenseman.
All these defensemen played. All those defensemen, not even all of them. Some, like most of them played 6 games in the 2 weeks, but some of them played 4, some of them played 5.
Right.
A defenseman with the most assists. We had 3 of them tied with 10. We had Hero of Time from Stockton, RBK V420 from San Diego, and we also had Red Wing Speedy from Stockton with 10, as I said. Moving on to top plus minus, we had Bryson 66, who went 5-0-1 with a plus 17 over the 2 weeks. Bryson has been tearing it up. I guess after last season, me talking about how defensemen should have a better plus minus and how if he's running for the Shore, he needs to have a good plus minus. He's picked it up all this season, so
right.
At least he's listening to my criticism a little well. Now we're going to do our favorite.
Or he just has a better team.
Or that.
Sorry, Bryson.
Now we're going to do our everybody's favorite terrible plus minus. With a minus 24 over 6 games, we have Raph XL52L from Bakersfield. Minus 24 over 6 games. Kind of brutal. I'd like to do a personal shout out to 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, and 5th place for the worst plus minus in the league. Ontario Defenders, Celtic Renegade, Smokeless Sleeve, Banana Hammock, and Huckfin. Minus 16 and all minus 13 after that. Those are my D-men. Woo! Now moving on to our big hitter of the 2 weeks. I'm getting used to saying this guy's name now. Bridgeport, L Get Busy L. 39 hits over 7 games.
Wow.
Almost 6 hits a game as a defenseman. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
At least he's winning games too. So high plus minus. He's got 4 wins in 7 games. Can't go wrong there.
That's working for him. So
now we're going to move on to everybody's favorite giveaways. All the forwards love these guys. Again, from Ontario, Smokelessly, 71 giveaways over 6 games. That is a lot of giveaways. No wonder the puck's gone back into the back of my net so many times. The closest person to him actually only had 55. So,
really?
Yeah, that was a rough one. Defenseman with the most takeaways, Dust Steelers on Rochester had 36. I'll give a quick shout out to Cloud9 on Cloud9 from Providence. I know Ring Talk likes to talk about Cloud9 all the time. They like to shout him out, but he had 34. He came very close. So.
Yeah, he's really solid. He's a good dude too.
Yeah, he is. And then the new one, as I added it at the beginning of this year, block shots, stay sideways. I find that really fitting that the guy who led in block shots with 5, his gamer tag is stay sideways, because you literally have to dive and lay down to block the shots for it to register on the LG. So wow. It's kind of fitting.
I played with him last year. He was a solid defenseman when it came to blocking shots. Yeah. So when I played for Laval.
Yeah. So hopefully he can continue blocking shots for Syracuse's goalies. helping them out in that department. Now, as I said, we're going to do a little something different this week. We're going to talk about our top 4 teams per division. So basically, in that aspect, we're going to talk like GT and I are going to go back and forth. We're going to start with each division, and we're basically going to say which 4 teams we think are a deadlock on making playoffs this season. So we're going to kick it off with the Eastern, I believe, Atlantic Division. So that's the Providence, Wilkes-Barre, Hershey, Bridgeport, Hartford, Charlotte, Springfield, and Lehigh Valley division. I'm going to let you start off. Which 4 teams do you believe are going to be a lock on playoffs?
Well, in that division, I think Providence is, of course, a lock. But when it comes to after that, literally 5 points separates the whole Eastern Atlantic. If I could pick, I would say Boston 1, Penguins 2, Hershey's 3, and I think that besides that, it could be all the way down to the Checkers if the Checkers can get their stuff together. But I want to say the Wolfpack. I've just seen some solid play from the Wolfpack. If the Checkers can get their stuff together, they have the pieces, but it doesn't help with the NHL pulling people up and things like that. So I want to say Bruins, Penguins, Bears, and Wolfpack.
Okay. Personally, obviously, as you just mentioned, Providence is basically a lock on first in that division.
Yeah.
But Providence, I have Hershey, Bridgeport, and Hartford. I don't think Wilkes-Barre is going to stay up there.
Okay.
I know Leporshkin and Gentry know how to build the team. But I also know that V. Frostic and Broussard or whoever's running Hershey now, they've got experience. They've been around for a long time and always done well in Hershey. Bridgeport just picked up 2 amazing goaltenders. They picked up Polar, who's, I wouldn't say amazing, but he's solid. And they picked up Tatar from Utica. So
which was a shock. Was it a shock to everybody that he actually requested the trade? That I got that per sources in the chat box today.
Yes,
so.
And then Hartford, Hilly, he knows how to build teams. He's getting help from 4th line, so that team is on the rise.
Yeah.
They started off really slow. They're getting really hot now. They had a weirder last 10, but otherwise I don't see much change in that division. You did say they're really tight, but we never know.
I mean, it's super tight. It threw me off with the Tatar trade because I always thought that him and Mackey braided each other's hair.
Yeah.
So.
We'll move on to – I'm going to skip the North. We're going to go to West Central now. Right now, that's the division of Milwaukee, Rockford, Iowa, Chicago, Colorado, Grand Rapids, Cleveland, Manitoba. Personally, I'm going to start this one off here. I think the top 4 teams are going to stay the same.
That division is poop.
That division is trash. The one surprise right now that I do have is Colorado sitting 5th. Datsuki and Deke, Gumba, Ambient run that team. And they're not in a playoff spot. They are 1 point out, and Grand Rapids is 3 points out. I could see Colorado squeaking in above Iowa. I don't think Iowa could make the playoffs.
I even see the Griffins maybe squeaking in as well.
Yeah, like Tranny and Howie have or not Howie. Is it Howie?
Yeah, Howie.
It's Tranny and Howie. Yeah, like that's another experienced management team. If it comes down to the wire, I want to say Milwaukee, Rockford, Colorado, Grand Rapids, but I still think right as of the way it's sitting right now, Milwaukee, Rockford, Iowa, Chicago is probably going to be your lock for.
For me, I think it's going to be Admirals 1. I think it's going to be the Wild 2, the Ice Hawks 3, and I want to say the Griffins. I'm going to give them 4.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to give them 4. It's just I being up in the NHL, I don't follow the AHL as much, but I still look at scores every night to kind of, for the shows and things like that. And they've just been surprising me because they're getting, 2, 3 in a row here.
Yeah.
Those points start adding up.
Yep. So now we'll go back to the East North here. So that's Utica, Toronto, Rochester, Belleville, Binghamton, Louisville, Syracuse. I'll let you start off with this one.
All right. For this one, I think that Utica stays in the top. I think that they're going to be second rounded if they make it. I just don't think they have the depth.
You don't think they're going to get out of their own division?
I don't know. Weirder things have happened. Yeah. They were so far ahead, and now the division is catching them.
Yeah.
So I want to say probably Utica 1, Marlies 2, the Americans 3, and then for 4th place, I mean, it's a toss-up. the Senators, the way they've been playing, I want to say with the revamp of their team, I'll just leave it the top 4 as it is. I honestly think that it could stay that way. So
I got Utica. Obviously, Mackey knows what he's doing. I guess he traded his starting goaltender, but he picked up Mochez. Mochez is another great goalie.
Yeah, Mochez is good.
And on a team like that, they'll be fine. Toronto, definitely. Luke knows what he's doing. He does know how to run an AHL team this season. Shout out to Darcy for that. And 3-4, I have Belleville Binghamton. I don't think.
So you think Rochester will drop?
I think Rochester will drop just for the sole fact that Fawn is the only manager in the management chat right now. And Fawn isn't always around. Yes, he's a goalie and he's around for quite a bit. But it's at that point of the season where teams are going to start taking forfeits. And if their management is not in the manager's chat and you need time and you don't message, it's going to be a quick forfeit. And
that's the one thing about the NHL is that it's just the games usually start on time.
Yes, I've noticed that.
I love that. It's always on time. The games go quick because people hold the puck so much and don't shoot.
Yeah. So Utica, Toronto, Belleville, Binghamton. I don't think Rochester makes it. And then we'll do everyone's favorite shit division, the Pacific. San Diego, Stockton, Texas, San Antonio, Tucson, San Jose, Bakersfield.
I'll let you go first.
And Ontario. So San Diego has that division on lockdown. Their team is unreal. I played against them. It was their second line. They moved the puck so well and so fast that it's, as a goalie, it's a nightmare to track.
Are they French Canadian team?
No.
They're not. Okay.
They're not. They just moved the puck. They've played, a lot of them have played together for a long time, so they moved the puck so well. Like at one point,
are they NHLers that moved down?
No, like these guys have been in the AHL for a long time.
Okay,
it's like
so they're AHLers that haven't. Okay,
yeah.
So they're AHLers that haven't moved up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And some of them have moved up and then they've moved back down because they didn't do very well. So.
Okay.
But like San Diego, like I said, I got pumped 7-1, and then another good team got pumped like 7 or 8-1.
Yeah.
It was just that the second line I played against, they would go for a cross crease. So it'd be like the guy would come down the left hand side, pass it across for the cross crease. It would be a one touch to the center, back across, and then back across and shot. It was just like you couldn't track it, and it was always going through, no matter who was there, when they were there. The passing was just so crisp, so fast. Like that team has that division on lockdown.
I agree. They look like a good team.
Stockton, definitely. San Antonio for sure, and Tucson. I don't see Texas making it. I really don't.
I disagree with you.
Texas, I
don't think that San Antonio will make it.
I just traded them a better goalie, so they might make it now.
Well, it's not that. It's just that they lose, Pop Adams with that mess. They've lost 4 in a row. Yeah. Provorov just got chat box banned for 30 days.
Shocker.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know. I played with them. They have a decent guys, but they have the same problem that they had last year, which is not having guys show up to play.
Yeah.
And lines not being set at the right time, things like that. I think it's going to be the goals 1, the Heat 2. I want to say maybe the keep the Stars at 3, and then the Roadrunners at 4.
Okay. So, like, for the most part, across the divisions, we're fairly on the same page for most teams.
Yeah, but I know how it is to play for a Provorov team, and it's just it's difficult.
Yes, it is.
Especially when you get threatened to get traded all the time.
It's even more fun when you play for the 31st place team in the league.
Well, you're only 6 points out of being the 30th.
30th? Yeah, I know.
It's in your division too, so.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on to what I wanted to talk about really is our top contenders for the Cup. We've obviously aligned our top teams that we have per division sticking around. So we have Providence, we've agreed on. Utica, we've agreed on. Top team. San Diego, we've agreed on. Top team. And then we've said that Milwaukee's probably going to walk away with the Central.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. You never know. It could be Rockford. It could be. The Central is so bad that.
Regardless of whoever wins the Central, still has to play the goals, and it's not even going to be fair.
So I want to talk about top contenders for the Cup, specifically for the Cup. In my personal opinion, my 4 top contenders are going to be Utica, Providence, Stockton, and San Diego. Whoever is coming out of the Pacific is going to the Cup final.
You think?
I don't think anybody in the Central is going to get to the Cup final.
So you think Stockton? Did you say the San Diego?
Yeah, Stockton and San Diego are my 2 West teams, and then
I think whoever wins between, if the goals and the Heat play each other, to then go play the Western Central winner.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that, I think will go final.
Well, yeah, like I said, regardless, I don't think any team in the Central can keep up with those 2 teams. They're just too good.
No.
They're too good, and I know I just traded Chidolo away last week, and the guy went like 5-0-1 or something like that on Stockton this week.
Yeah.
I just made.
Did he ask or?
To be traded?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. He's a solid goalie. He was my backup last year.
And then we all know Providence. I don't really want to talk about them. Ding Talk will do that all themselves. And then
what?
Right?
No.
Sorry, Ring Talk with Dave.
Yeah, when it used to be the Barracuda Talk, Talk, yeah.
And now it's just Ding Talk and Dave.
Right.
But yeah, no. So I don't want to talk about Providence. We already know how good they are. They'll talk about them themselves. And then we obviously have Utica. But a lot of people don't see Utica coming out of their own division.
I do. I just don't think they have a lot of depth for if it were to go to a Game 7 or a Game 6. I don't see they have full depth, the same depth that Mackey had last year.
No. But he also has an owner in the NHL willing to do everything he can to assure that Mackey wins a cup.
Who is that, Death?
Death Star. And he's going to probably, where roster movements get locked in, he'll send out everyone he can, call up anyone that Mackey doesn't want, and then boom, Mackey's roster is set. Yeah. And then you'll have all these experienced NHL.
I don't know. I don't know if his roster could beat Mackey's roster. Vancouver's not very good.
No, I know they're not. Neither is LA. So.
Yeah, we're okay. We're like second or third in our conference. There in Carolina.
Yeah. But yeah, I was actually listening to a little bit of what Bryson's show is saying, and if you look at this, if you look at the Wolfpack are currently sitting in 5th with 55 points, which is 9th in the Eastern Conference. Yep. But then you look at the Marlies, who are 2nd in their division with 55 points.
Yeah.
It just shows you how hard some of these divisions are this season. Like last season, it was the Pacific that was the hardest division. And now this season, it's the Atlantic.
It's all those roster swaps and
all those. And Bryson's whole mentality was, let's get out of the Pacific so we have an easier time. And they swapped right into the hardest division again.
Yeah, they're still having a pretty easy time.
I mean, when you have Darcy stealing games for you.
Yeah. And you got guys like Tino scoring, already have like over 50 points. And same with Stockton. I think I was looking at Stockton and like Crotch and Euro both had 20. They played 4 games. He had 23 points in 4 games.
Yeah.
Euro had 20 points in 4 games. Hero had 12 points in 3 games.
Yeah.
Weeks like that are going to add up.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But otherwise, this week, I don't have anything else much to say. If Dudley wants to add anything on, he can. I would like to shout out to my defense. I'm trying to improve them still, so I don't have to face 32 shots ever again in a game.
I saw your trades that went through.
I just picked up more defense today.
Yeah, got rid of Bar South Ski or Bar South Hockey.
Bar South Hockey. Yeah. I also picked up Wally Mack, who is season 28's Eddie Shore winner.
Okay, nice.
He's having a terrible season, but
it's all about who you pair him with.
And he won it in season 28, which was still NHL 18. So I know he has the thumbs to play.
Right.
So we'll see. But otherwise, anything you want to say before we head out for tonight?
Well, since we didn't have a show last week, happy belated Canada Day to all my Canadian Patriots, Buck, and then happy Independence Day to all my American friends. Hope you guys drank a lot of beer and had a lot of good barbecue and a lot of good friends and good times. And, looking forward to playoffs. Looking forward to hopefully making the playoffs in the NHL for me, and then watching the playoffs and kind of seeing the discussions in the chat boxes during playoffs. It's always pretty heated. So, but good luck, and we'll see you guys next week.
So hopefully we do this again next week and we actually get back on next week. But I'm
sure we will. That was just kind of weird week.
Yeah, it definitely was. And again, we can always try the whole live thing again. I know we struggled with it that 1 week, and there was a lot of issues. We can always try it again.
Right.
I know a lot of people like to listen to live shows, so even if we have to move the show a different night, we can always try it and make it work.
Right.
So that is on the horizon, possibly for Overdrive, that we were going to go live. We've done it in the past. We had to stop doing it because of issues that came up with things that we were saying. Obviously, that's going to happen with larger panels and who was on them. And now that we have a smaller panel most of the time, it's going to be a little easier to do this. So,
right.
But without further ado, we'll catch you guys next week, and hopefully we will be live for it. So, see you guys, and have a good night.
Bye.